Welcome back to Airplane Vlogs number 2. I've got a few issues that I still need to fix, so let's go over those really quickly before we jump right in. So the first thing is, this is a battery that was not charging all the way, so I got that replaced. I got a brand new one from the same company. So this one is also 3-cell, and this one fully charges, so that's a good sign. And then I did go ahead and purchase, this is a switch for the airplane, so that if I have to take the airplane places, I can plug in the battery and just have it switched off with the switch. And if I turn that on, then the ESC and motor that are connected, both of those are brand new as well, then that will turn on. And if I turn it off, then it turns off. So that's pretty cool. I'll just mount that on the outside of the airplane. And then brand new ESC and motor. So I got a new motor because the old one, I think it was broken. There were some problems with it. It was grinding a little bit and just a few issues that I think a new motor would solve. This is a different brand because I didn't want to go with the same brand. And then a brand new ESC because the battery discharge might have fried the ESC. So I got a new one just in case. And they all have standard connectors too, so I don't have to do any soldering, which is super nice. The motor has clips that go in, and the ESC actually has an XT60 connector, and the battery has an XT60 connector, and the switch has XT60 connectors. No soldering required at all. So that's pretty cool. We're off to a great start, so let's go put these in the airplane. We left off getting this motor mount in and getting the ESC soldered and all that. So all that's got to go because the elements aren't working together, and I've got some new ones I've got to put in. So I'm going to start by taking off this mount, taking the ESC off from the receiver, and then plugging in all the new parts and getting the mount set up again for the new motor. The ESC is in channel 3. So now the ESC is out, and then I want to break the mount in the front so that I can put a new one on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to call that good. I didn't get quite all the glue off, but it's good enough to put a new mount in, so I'm gonna go build a new mount and then put the motor on. So I've got the old motor. I've just got a little piece of wire that I'm gonna stick into the nose. Just like that, and then I should be able to twist the top off. And this step is super important, as I've learned. You've got to tighten the nose with a piece of wire or a tool, because if you don't, then the propeller will just fly off, no matter how much you can do with your hand. You've always got to tighten it with a tool or with a piece of wire like I'm doing it. It's kind of a tricky one to adjust because you've got to hold the wire on. It's easier to do before you mount the motor, but should be just fine like that. And then I'm going to do it one more time just to be safe and hold that. Try and do it with 2 hands. I can't go anymore, so that should be good. So the ESC and the motor is on there. So now I want to put the battery in. This I'll put in the switch really fast, and then we'll put the battery in and hook this thing up and test it to see how it works. So let's jump to that. Sweet. So that switch is in there. It's not going to go anywhere. So the speed controller, that can be connected to the receiver. And the landing gear looks to be in decent condition, so not too worried about that. There's a helicopter flying out and about, so that's a good sign that it's a good day for flying. So I'm just gonna drive it around a little bit to get a feel for it. I don't want to take this up yet because I'm sure that something's gonna go wrong, and yeah, so hopefully nothing goes wrong. It looks like it's not really driving on the ground very well, so that might be an issue. Because it should be turning better. I think the tail wheel, because it's not rotating, it's not, it's not turning like it should. I think that's causing it to, oh wow, that thing's got so much power. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe we just pray that it flies and go for it. Just making sure the landing gear is good. This is super nerve-wracking for me because there's so many things that could go wrong. We'll go full flaps and just go for it. Full send. Oh, yeah. Well, that's exactly what could go wrong. I went to go fly this and look what happened. It's now in a few pieces. The wing's not on there anymore. And it did break a few pieces because It was windy, but I thought it wasn't going to be that windy, so I took it out to the park. And before I even got to take off, the wind just ripped the wing off. It broke the receiver, and one of the servo broke. There's a whole bunch of issues with it. The landing gear broke too. So I've got to rebuild the landing gear, fix a few issues, get a few new parts. So that's going to end it for this video. I'll make more videos, try and rebuild this thing, and hopefully it flies one day. But for right now, there's not much I can do. I've just got to rebuild everything. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in part 3.